Ngizwe Mchunu, March and Operation Dudula are leading the march with leaders in East London. This comes after the Nigerian foreigner started a coup, installing himself as a king in East London. Let's watch how it's unfolding.
The political parties that are here is Action SA, is Action Patriotic Alliance, my apologies. And as a PA, you've been calling for Abahambe has been your slogan. What do you make of this situation? The coronation of a king, self-proclaimed king in Bukombo City.
According to the olden days, when you have done something like this, you are inviting war. But because we're in a democratic country, we're trying to make a symbol that our government must give our people an ear so that the government can intervene. Because there are many activities around the country whereby we are the victims of the so-called foreigners. There are many incidents. They are implicated in many things. They are implicated in many illegal activities around the country. So the country is united now. This is a symbol of unity in our country, telling one voice to South Africans that we are one. We just want government to intervene and help our people and deport some of these criminals that don't even have papers in this country. Yeah.
Gombo, where March and March supporters are also demonstrating over the coronation of a Nigerian king. Sipa Kema is there for us. Sipa, so many various issues related to the story. Give us a sense of how this protest movement forms part of what's going on there today.
Yeah, well, as you can see, quite a number of people have come out to Michelle now, a number of community members, but also we saw a number of buses that actually come from KwaZulu-Natal. As you see Ngizwe Mchunu here next to me, just to speak to him about more on nize apha namhlanje eMontini lapha kuGombo ngoku nisuka ngapha eKwaZulu Natal abantu babonile busithi uzoba lapha uzoba part of le march isizathu sokuthi nisuke ngapha eKZN nize apha eMonti
ingoba eqinisweni sinto eyodwa amaXhosa amahahabe sabe ngulisi sonke kubalekile ukuthi we unite isikhathi sokuhlangana lesi ukuthi sinqobe lo sathane okwenzeke ezweni lethu la kwavuleleka khona abantu bokuhamba ukuthi bahlala kuleli zongemthetho sababekana namakhosi ke manje into engiyifunayo ukuthi thina cha siwuzulu sizolekalela sabona umfowethu lapha umfowethu abandaba ukuthi seziqiniseko sokuthi ibutho lakwaZulu elitshalwe ingonyama la lizokwenza iqiniseko sokuthi inkosi yaseNigeria ebekwe la ingamanyala ayiphindele kwela kubo.
Ngokunina njengoba lento yenzeka ewe yenzeka eEastern Cape ewe yenzeka apha kuGombo kodwa ke njenina nisuka kwaZulu nithatha lento ezimhlawumbi
isithuko esikhulu kakhulu apha ezweni laseNingizimu Afrika eMzantsi Afrika siyaqabuka ukuthi oGomba amakhosi asendulo ukuthi angayivuma kanjani ukuthi the history will judge us wrong when we allow such a mistake to happen in our own land, in our wash. We are the people that's supposed to be in charge of the country and the constitution of this country. The elder people have failed. Our government have failed. The political organization that liberated this country has failed. Now it's our time for us as black people to unite and bring back our land. City abahambe bonke esipika khulukazi ama-Nigeria siyezegoli ziyakhala manje.
Well, you hear Michelle from Ngizwe Mchunu also talking about they will be moving to Gauteng as well, to Johannesburg as well with this movement. Now, as we know, we've seen such similar marches in KwaZulu-Natal, led by the same people like Jacinta Ngobese are also here from March and March, and Ngizwe is also here. Traditional leaders are also here, Michelle, more especially those that come from the Amachachabe royal household as well as the royal household of Amaxhosa Kingdom are also here leading this march together with the community. But we see most of the numbers are coming from KwaZulu-Natal. Buses actually came in with people from KwaZulu-Natal to take part in this march.
Sipa, we know that there is a big Nigerian community in various parts of the country. Are we making more of this than what it really is, or is this a huge issue in the Eastern Cape?
Well, in the Eastern Cape, there are certain areas that, there have been cries at some point. There was a march in 2023 on an area here in Bukombo City, in the inner city, that has now been given the name California. Now, within that area, it's a known drug-infested area, part of the inner city, but it's literally just a street and a block within the inner city. And there was a march by community members who were saying that they're saying enough is enough. But, you know, with all of this, it's also about being careful not to have any xenophobic slurs and, xenophobic comments that are also made and part of this. But to tell you that community members, the reaction of community members, of authorities, of traditional leaders to this specific incident was that they feel as though they are actually being undermined, or those that came for this so-called coronation of a said Nigerian king is actually undermining authority and local leadership, because they were also saying that they would never find themselves going to Nigeria to even have a ceremony to install or coronate a certain king.
All right, Sipa, perhaps before we let you go, we've got various organizations marching there today, including this protest movement, March and March. At what stage does government have something to say about this?
Well, currently what we are seeing are political parties, but not government as such. But, however, COGTA did release a statement, and COGTA was saying that this is not authorized, that they do not recognize what has happened here, Michelle, and also calling for talks to understand what exactly happened, because you understand that also the state organ will need to be diplomatic as well when it comes to handling such matters. So, but they've been saying that of course, a statement was then released by the MEC of COGTA's office, Zolile Williams, talking about this, or rather reacting to this, saying that no, this is not authorized as well, and that they've just, of course, sat for a summit that had traditional leaders from the San, the Khoi, the Xhosas, the Abatembu, all royal households, Amampondo, were also here, part of that summit and discussion that was had, and issues relating to traditional leadership was actually spoken about, and including parts where traditional leadership was saying that they feel undermined and they are not taken seriously by the Eastern Cape government, which then influences how they are treated by outsiders and the seriousness of taking traditional leadership within the Eastern Cape.
Ngizwe Mchunu is joining us live from that march in Kugompo in the Eastern Cape.